We're recording.
Hi, this is Aaron Trumm from Recording Magazine and Enquit Music, and today we're going to talk about recording pianos. But I want to do that with my friend Rick, so we're going to go see him, and we'll come back to this bad boy later. Hey Rick.
How's it going?
Not bad. We're here at his house at Rick Hale Productions. Studio's downstairs, and we're upstairs right now. You know what? Let's get to it.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to start with an XY pair. These are basically, at right angles to each other. I've placed them between two of the sound holes here, kind of near the strings. This is a close miking technique. And I thought we'd record a little swatch. So Rick, why don't you record a little swatch for us?
Next, a room miking technique where we set the small diaphragm condenser microphones out into the room. This technique is especially good when you're doing classical music. So we have the microphones here in this case still aiming towards the soundboard of the piano, but I've tried to aim them more towards the action of the piano a little bit so that it can pick up the percussive action. So let's let Aaron this time demonstrate what this will sound like.
Okay, so the other close miking technique that I like to do is just a space pair. I like to think about ears. One of the problems with space pairs is you can run into a hole in the middle a little bit. That's why I like to get them a little bit closer. And that's the other reason why XY pair is really good.
In this next segment, we're going to be talking about placing the mics behind us at about ear level. Whoops, this one is not connected.
So here's another technique that Rick likes to do. I've actually never tried this, so this is going to be fun. Basically, we have two small diaphragm condensers over the hammers. You can place them lower to get more sort of a rock percussive sound, or higher if you don't want it to be so clangy. But we're going to try this and see how it sounds. Okay, so we've moved downstairs to Rick's studio here. We've got a mid-side pair that we've set up. And the way a mid-side pair works is you've got a figure 8 pattern, that's this guy here, doing the sides. You can actually point this the other way, getting the sides this way, up and down. What we've chosen to do is do left-right, so we've got the sides like this. And then the mid points at the sound source. Of course, with the piano, the sound source is huge, so we've just picked the middle. And we're pointing kind of toward the hammers, but we're back a little ways. And what we're going to do is record this, and then Rick will show you what we do on the other side of it. Ready, set.
Okay, so I wanted to show this part where we're actually going to take what we've recorded in the DAW. And what I've done here is I actually set 2 tracks to record my figure 8 mic. And then on the playback, I went in on track 3 and I reversed the phase. Then the next trick is to take track 2, and you can experiment with where you'd like to pan it. For argument's sake, this time I just panned it full left. Of course, you can adjust where those are, and that will widen or narrow the stereo field. But what I also like to do with the mid-side miking technique, and the advantage to it is you can easily adjust the stereo field simply by raising and lowering the two figure-8 mics. And you can bring them back all the way to 0 to start with, where you're just getting the mid, and then you can bring them in and bring up the stereo image to taste. So give it a try. It's a lot of fun to experiment with different things, and we'll show you one more technique using mid-side here in just a moment.
Okay, we're going to try another thing, which is a mid-side behind the player. We did a space pair behind the player, and we did an XY behind the player, and now we're going to try this. One thing to note about a mid-side pair is you need to line it up really accurately. You need to get the mid right in the center with the side and make sure they're nice and good, because otherwise it kind of sacrifices the quality of what we're doing here. So let's play and see how this sounds.
Okay, I wanted to also talk about some distant microphones. In this case, our microphones are actually ribbon mics. These are the same mic we've done the mid-side, at least the side part of the mid-side miking techniques with. Ribbon mics are usually figure-8, and one of the nice reasons to use them in a room situation like this is that the back element of the microphone captures reflections coming off the walls of the room. So here is the way these will sound.
Well, thanks for watching. That was a whole bunch of mic techniques for the piano. Bear in mind that there's a million other things you could do. You can experiment with different mics and different placements under the piano, close to the keys. Take the lid off if you have that capability. And bear in mind that the room plays a huge part in recording the piano. So something that might have sounded great in our room will sound terrible in yours, or vice versa. So make sure you're experimenting and listening. And Rick, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, you know, that was a lot of fun, thanks. And one thing that I might add is, one thing that I like to do just for options is to use many of those techniques that we showed. You can interchange out different types of microphones with some of the mics that we were showing you, as well as you can run all of those techniques at the same time if you have enough of a channel count on your mixing board to do so. And so that way you can have them combining together and then choose which mics you want to be emphasizing in your mix after the fact, which can work really well too. I think that's it. That was a blast.
That sounds great. Let's we'll talk soon, okay?
Sounds good.
Bye-bye. But wait, there's more. I had a lot of fun at Rick's, but I promised you we'd come back to this bad boy right here. Obviously, this is an upright piano. This guy's about 100 years old, we think. He's not in tune, but we're going to record him anyway. First thing I'm going to do is put the mics right under me, right under the player, so I'll let you see that. So method 1, 2 small diaphragm condensers placed in front. They're about a foot away, I'd say, and I've spread them pretty far apart. You could do them closer, you could do them closer to the piano, you could do them farther. One of the things you'll notice about this is it's going to be a little hard to get the player in there, but I'm going to sneak a chair in there and I think it'll be fine. You could also use a large diaphragm condenser, and you could even try a dynamic or a ribbon. I don't think the dynamics would sound very good, but you might as well try it. So we're going to record a little swatch and see what happens, okay? Here's another way I like to mic the upright, which is from the top. I've pointed these small diaphragm condensers down inside. I've opened up the lid. It's probably going to be a lot brighter this way and probably going to get more hammer noise. One thing you may have already noticed is that with an upright it can be kind of difficult to get out of the way of the player. But if you have better boom stands or shorter mics for the down-low miking techniques, then I think you'd do fine. You may also notice that what I've done is I've got one that's really on the low strings, and I've got one that's actually, you may not be able to see it from here, but it's really kind of toward the middle. These are spread pretty wide, but I've got them in a situation where I'm going to play a little bit lower. I'm not really going to hit the high keys, so I've moved these mics more toward the low end. Let's see what it sounds like. I've gone from the top, I've gone from the bottom and front. I could also pull the piano out or turn it around and go from the back. I could take pieces off, I could lift this up and go from the front, or any number of things. You just have to experiment and see what it sounds like, and remember the room is a big deal and the piano is a big deal. As you can hear, this piano's kind of out of tune. I kind of like it though, it's like a barrel house piano. Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to go over to recordingmag.com where you can get your subscription to the magazine. You can also find back issues there. May 2016 is where my Caging the Beast article is for more on miking pianos. Also, you can go to aarontrumm.com/piano miking, and you can get all the samples we did here today, plus some more samples, plus some extra information from when I wrote the Caging the Beast article. Also, you can follow us on social media at Recording Mag. You can follow me on social media at Aaron J. Trumm. I love to hear from people, so come talk to me. And also go visit my friend Rick Hale at rickhale.info and give him a big shout out and a thank you for me. Until next time, shut up! We're recording.